This vehicle is the Ka-Ri. This is a Japanese Tier 8 premium tank destroyer. So the gun handling is good. It's on the better end of all the tank destroyers, all the premium tank destroyers. The armor is kind of average, and everything else is kind of average. So you got high penetration rounds. You got good dispersion. The aim time is so-so. And crew is 6, which means you can train more people. And having 2 loaders mean that you can put safe stowage on one, adrenaline rush on another, and you can share perks between different 2. You don't have to have as many skills per crew member. So that's a little bit of an advantage. Okay, so I'm going to do a comparison. This is among vehicles that I already have. Now keep in mind that the vehicles that I'm comparing them with may already have equipment that improves the load time, might have crew in it that makes it reload faster, etc. So the penetration is 252, which for Tier 8 is better than almost every Tier 8 tank. And it makes you competitive with Tier 9 tanks. The only tanks that are better, we got the STRV, the T103, the SHP TK, TVP. The rest of them are going to be under. Oh, here's another one, the AMX, the French. So 252 is amazing. That's really good. You're going to be able to penetrate virtually every Tier 8 tank or less and many Tier 9 tanks. And you're going to be able to penetrate Tier 10 tanks too, except for the ones that are really super heavy or overpowered. So you got a really good gun. The damage is 500, which is really good. You see we got a 750 over here. But other than that, the 500, the 520, it puts it up in the higher end. So you got a really good gun. Gun loading is 12 seconds, which I think if you put gun rammers and things like that, you're really not going to come close to a lot of these other vehicles. You're not going to get it down to 7 seconds. But you can definitely bring it down another 2 seconds or so. Gun depression, it says -7, which is not that good. The aim time is 1.92. 1.92 is good. Anything under 2 is pretty good. 1.6, which is on the Turtle, is really, really good. I think we've got, it's rare to have a vehicle, like over here we got a 1.43 and a 1.25. So the 1.92 is pretty good. It's better than a lot of these vehicles, and considering that it does a lot of damage, the 1.92 aim time is really good, and you're going to do better because you're going to have your crew in it. I'm just going to put everything on. And of course, I should have put things like vents. Brings it down to 1.88. The dispersion was 0.33, 0.32. That's really good. That means you're more likely to hit your target. It's one of the best dispersions in the game. Very few tanks have a dispersion of 0.32. Number of hit points is relatively low. The hull armor, not as good as these other tanks. It says 220 for the frontal armor, but I don't know what plate that is. There's a lot of plates on the front that have different armor, and I saw a 3D model. It didn't look good. Engine power 750. That's okay. You see over here we got a 1200. The top speed is 40. That's kind of average, but it's actually pretty good compared to the other tank destroyers. The view range is 410, which is pretty good for the default, and the signal range 985, which means obviously it's a premium tank, so you don't have to worry about paying for an upgraded radio. So the vehicle is good gun, not so great on the armor. But, I'd like to see it in game to see how it performs. Obviously, it's going to be compared to the YAG-D Tiger because they look very similar, and the play style is going to be the same. So this is what the vehicle looks like. And we've already gone through all the specs. It's got 6 crew. It's better to have more crew because you're going to use this to train your crew. You're going to get a really good bonus, and you're going to get to use them in your other tank destroyers, which may or may not have 6 crew. And you'll have, for example, 2 loaders to choose from. You don't want to have fewer crew because then your commander might have to do your radio skills, and you're going to lose some radio skills like situational awareness because your commander just can't do everything. So it's better to have all the different crew members. Also, if you have more crew members and one of them gets injured, it has less of an impact on your vehicle. Because if you only have 2 crew members, some vehicles only have 2 crew members. You could destroy the vehicle just by hitting both crew members. So having more crew members is always an advantage. I don't know of any disadvantages. That's the vehicle. It's available for the St. Patrick's Day loot boxes. In terms of is it a good tank? You know, I think I would have bought this tank for maybe $30. I would have definitely bought it. I don't know if I would pay $50. So we're going to look at these other tanks. We're going to see what you have to compare it with. The Kari compared to the Yagdi Tiger. You know what? Because of the high penetration, you got to go with the Kari. The Turtle is a really good tank. You should consider that one because it's strong armor. The AMX is a good tank. Maybe I would pick the AMX over the Kari. The gold rounds on the Kari is around 285 or 290. The Vipera is an excellent tank. This is an overpowered tank. If you can get a Vipera, you want to get the Vipera. It doesn't have high penetration, but the armor on it is amazing and few weak spots. I like the ISU 152. I like the WZ. The STRV is an amazing tank, one of the best tanks in the game, difficult to play. The KV4, I don't know. The SU 130 PM is an amazing tank. The T103 is a very, very good tank. It's a little bit sluggish and big. The ISU, I think, is a good tank. TS5, great tank. The SHPTK, I don't know, but the specs look really good. This is a sniper. I would say go for the TS5, especially if you play frontline. I really like the SU 130 PM. Consider the STRV. That's a really good tank. Definitely the Vipera. I don't know if I would. This is not at the top of all the tanks. This is more going to be in the middle. There's some people that don't like the ISU style and the Russian and the Chinese tanks. And there's some people that don't like the French TDs. This is going to be more in the middle or only because of the penetration. So if I were you, get the Vipera, the STRV, which is difficult to play, the SU 130 PM. Consider this SHPTK. Definitely the TS5 is a great vehicle because of the great armor. And in fact, I would say the TS5 is definitely the better choice. Okay, so that is my review of the Kari. If you have any questions or comments, please post below.